Maniacs, welcome back to the channel. Your local bedhead here. We are going to be diving into another video. This is one I was going to react to last night, but I was so exhausted I decided to pass out instead. But the Conjuring House made the news. Conjuring House owner story actually made the local news around there, which is just crazy to think about. Crazy. I honestly didn't think it was going to make the news. Like, it's actually surprising to me. But after the thing she is kind of pulling, it is, when you sit back and look at it, like a very insane story. It's a very insane story. I mean, the Conjuring House, again, is one of the most popular. The Conjuring movies are insanely popular, but the house is now insanely popular too. So of course this should have made the news at some point. Oh my god, I don't even want to know what's going through the owner's head at this point. I mean, now that the news has covered it, this is like, it just hit a whole different part of the world. Like, it just got big, it got real big. So we're gonna go ahead and watch this. It doesn't look like it's that long, so hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, go support the original video, of course. But let's see what the news has to say about this whole situation. And we've been covering it for a while too. Like, we've been covering this story for a little bit, and the fact that it feels weird actually covering a story that eventually would make the news is kind of bizarre, honestly. All right, let's go ahead. Here we go with the Conjuring House. Target 12 investigators. Oh my god. The Conjuring House owner fires employee citing accusations from beyond. Okay, so yep, okay. It would be one part that actually probably would make sense, yeah.
We begin with a Target 12 investigators exclusive Conjuring controversy. The old Conjuring House in Burrillville is known for its paranormal activity, but a former employee says he was fired after the owner said a spirit spoke to her. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shannon Heggie.
I'm Mike Montecalvo. Now that former employee is fighting for money that he says he's owed. Target 12 investigator Sarah Grinelli is here now with the details. Sarah?
Brian Dansero says he worked at the Conjuring House for the past 3 years. That's until the owner, Jacqueline Nunez, fired him. She tells me she's a medium and that a spirit from the house told her Dansero was stealing.
Which, let's look at it. I mean, that's a crazy accusation to make. Man, this should not have surprised me. Of course this is going to make the news at some point. I think that's Jacqueline's vehicle down there. So Jacqueline still is inside the building, I think, even as they're filming.
This is not your average home on Round Top Road in Burrillville. It's known as the Conjuring House, made famous by a 2013 movie, and for years it's captivated the imaginations of those who seek paranormal experiences.
I would hear voices, of course, footsteps, of course.
Brian Dansero began working in the house in 2021.
One of the stories I have, which makes me smile to this day, is carrying heavy boxes in and getting ready to balance it to open the door, and literally the door opened for me as I approached it, allowing me to walk in with the boxes. And I did say thank you. What the is that?
In May, Dansero went full-time as the house's vice president of operations, but within 2 months, owner Jacqueline Nunez let him go after saying she'd heard from the house's 19th century owner. These are text messages she sent to Dansero.
Ooh.
John Arnold told me, you've been stealing money out of the cash box for the past 2 months. And I literally stopped and I actually corrected him, like, John Arnold, one of the original owners who died in 1839, and she said yes, and I want you to pay it back.
When asked to respond, Nunez told Target 12 in part, "I and every person is entitled to experiences that bring understanding and meaning to our lives, including being informed or warned about wicked actors and actions."
You know what's probably the craziest part about this? Now look, before I say anything, I want to go ahead and make it clear that, do I believe Jacqueline right now is suffering through some sort of mental problem that could be affecting her decisions right now and what she is doing? The stress, could it be affecting her? Of course it could be. Everything I've seen her criticize and say about other people is exactly what she's doing right now. So, to me, these are wicked actions done by herself towards other people. Accusing them of stealing $3,000 and making that as an excuse not to pay the person money is insanity to me. Using the name of somebody who has long been deceased at the house as a cover-up for making your own personal decisions. Like, there are people out here who actually, do believe that maybe she's just using all these excuses just to try to get out of something, and maybe she's a lot more in depth and intact with everything than we're giving her credit for. Maybe she's not even suffering through anything mental. Maybe she's actually just being a horrible person here. And these things are so, I mean, it's all possible. I mean, we can't, nobody really knows. Nobody really knows the mental state of this person at this point. And I could believe either or. Honestly, I'm no doctor. I'm not a professional. I'm just going by what I see. And what I see, it could be very much either or. I definitely do not think she's in the right by any means. If we have to talk about this in situation just as a whole, she's definitely not the person in the right, and I will not be defending her or be on her side in this moment because of everything that she has done, everything she has accused people of. And I know there are people in the comment section and in this overall situation where they kind of, bundle everybody up as like a package of fakers and deceitful people. Now, you got to keep in mind, too, that debunkers have gone and investigated the Conjuring House, and they've had these people as tour guides. And a couple of them are actually people who have kind of told debunkers and people who have investigated this place that there are false stories about the location. So the Bathsheba Sherman one is a big example of that. They will straight up say that the Bathsheba Sherman story is not true. It was never proven. It was never documented. Right? When easily they could be lying about that. Lie about the small things to make, you could make up bigger lies, right? So, and look, the movie set them up for that lie. One of the most popular reasons on why that house is so haunted set them up for that lie, and some of them refused to say that it was true. That's respectful. That is damn honorable. So, I don't really like to lump everybody together and say they're all fakers and they're all scammers because a couple of them are scammers and fakers. The one person of the entire house who had the ability to run everything, we already know is a part of it. And I just don't feel comfortable without knowing more of the facts about the fakery that was going on. I think it's obvious from what we have seen from the three people. But when it comes to like Brian, the other people, there's just not enough proof there for me to just go ahead and say, well, they're all faking because they work for the Conjuring House. They're all a bunch of asshole liars. That doesn't feel right with me. It doesn't sit with me. Brian, honestly, in this situation, has the right to defend himself and to come after the owner because he himself needs to be paid. He needs the money to help his medical problems. The guy definitely needs the money. And if she's not paying him, she needs to be sued for it. And this is probably the beginning of the end of the Conjuring House, right here. The fact that it made the news, this is going to be the end of Jacqueline Nunez. I already guarantee it. Now it's like brought to a bigger audience where people are going to be seeing this. I mean, like the internet is already huge enough, but now it's being brought to a whole different audience on television. So people are more aware of this now than ever. And those people are going to get online and start talking about this. Everything that has transpired here in this whole story is all her fault. I mean, we could, of course, make the argument that there could be something mental going on. She's just mentally unstable, or the stress is like pouring on her shoulders too much. I mean, she can't handle the stress of everything going on. We're not doctors. We don't know these things. We just don't. We can take guesses. We can take educational guesses, but we don't know what this person's really going through. It's just hard to tell at this point. She seems very vengeful. She seems very aggravated and pissed off. That is obvious. And you got to keep in mind, too, anger can make you do some crazy things, too. Jason Hawes, like, the whole assassination thing. I mean, trying to shift the blame, trying to shift everything onto him, saying, oh, yeah, but, we may have faked, but this guy's trying to kill me. Well, you know what? Well, actually, it was John Arnold who told me to say this stuff. Trying to shift the blame on the paranormal, because there's a lot of people who believe in the paranormal. I don't wish no ill will on Jacqueline. I really hope she gets out of there, and I hope she gets the help she needs, but this, unfortunately, this is the risk you take. This guy is going to sue your ass, and he's going to take everything you're probably worth. She needs to work on herself a lot. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and continue and watch the rest of this. Sorry about that.
We took a step in and stuff from the ceiling just fell straight down.
Seriously?
Yes.
It started the first day that we moved into the...
Which I don't know if that's paranormal because something fell from the ceiling. I mean, again, this house is old. It literally could have been anything. It could have been... So I'm not going to say that was paranormal automatically, but...
house.
Author Andrea Perron told 12 News at the time the movie was inspired by her book that detailed the Perron family's experience after they bought the home in the 1970s.
You know that other man in the dining room? He just disappeared.
The home sits on the old Arnold estate, Target 12 found records dating back to the 1800s, referencing John Arnold and his wife Abigail, two of the original owners.
Horrible. Everything about this is horrible.
Dancero filed this claim with the Department of Labor and Training, stating that Nunez owes him $9,000 for unpaid wages.
Wow.
He denies any wrongdoing. Now, did you steal?
I can tell you no. I was a paramedic for over 30 years. The stress of all this has been keeping me up at night. I've been having problems breathing at night because of anxiety over it.
Nunez tells me Dancero was poised to make $100,000 a year if he didn't steal. She says she's using that money as part of his compensation.
Unless you have factual proof the man was going into this box and stealing money, you should never just accuse somebody of stealing. Even if like there was actually a spirit involved. You know what I mean? Like, this actually should have been, you should have investigated more instead of just, no, I'm not going to do it because the spirit told you. Spirit told me. It is what it is. You're stealing. Spirit told me. Yeah, no, it's just not a good look. It's just not a good look. And I don't believe there is a spirit involved. I genuinely believe this is another kind of try to shift the blame onto somebody else of why she did what she did.
Officials are investigating the claim. With the Target 12 investigators, Sarah Grinelli, 12 News.
And they said investigators are actually tackling this claim. Investigators.
Target 12 investigator compensation. State officials are investigating the claim.
State officials are investigating. So when she was telling you about the state of Rhode Island being on her side, it doesn't look like that's the case. It looks like they are going to be going and knocking on her door saying, hey, where's the video evidence this guy is stealing? You can't just tell us John Arnold told you. Where's the evidence? And she's going to look at him like, well, I might have made a mistake. And there is no making mistakes in situations like this. It's against the law. You should have been thinking about that.
With the Target 12 investigators, Sarah Grinelli, 12 News.
We begin with the Target 12
Holy shit. Holy shit. It got serious real fast. I mean, it was always serious, but now I got like, oh, next level. Yeah, with this whole situation, it's a sticky situation. There's no getting around it. This is very sad. Obviously, I want Brian to, you know, get his money paid to him and whatnot. That's the right thing, of course, in this situation. I want Jacqueline to get help. I hope the house gets a new owner. I really do. I hope the house gets a new owner and a fresh start at something different. It looks like it's going to get taken to court. It looks like there is going to be some serious legal actions taken against her. So sad to see. So sad to see because it could have been completely avoided. That's the whole thing. It could have been completely avoided and it just wasn't. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys disagree with me? I'm curious to hear your guys' opinions. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I will certainly talk with you guys again here about it soon. I'm sure we're going to hear more. So until next time, do take care.
If you caught a chance, 3 cards, odds is through. You won't be meant to.